Could she come out just so that they can see her? Kylie, everybody wave to Kylie. That's Kylie. Okay, Kylie and I are going to be in this room tonight, and we're going to help you answer any questions that you might have about selections. This is super, super, super important that you listen to me. And if you have any questions at all about how it's going to go tonight, you ask me, okay? Or you ask Kylie. It can be confusing. You might have questions. You might hear rumors. There's a lot of rumors about how selections works on the last night that are not true. People get into this math, all this fun stuff that I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I'm actually the one behind the computer that makes sure that everything runs once chapters submit list. So I know how it works. So if you have questions, you need to ask me. Okay? I'm not someone in a chapter. And your student recruitment guides are helping you as much as possible, but we get to a limit right when we're like, on question number 50. Okay, so selections tonight is going to look different. You will come in here, you will pick up your blue card that will have your password, and then you'll pick up a white card. This is a binding agreement. It's a contract, okay? So you will have your blue card and your white card. You will come in here, we'll come in quietly, and you will sign your preferences on this white card. Once you're done with that, you're going to take your white and blue card, and you're going to walk to the computer lab. Gold hall, you don't really need to worry about where that's at, because we're in a recruitment guide that's stacked all the way there, leading you to our lab, okay? You will make your same exact selections that you do on this white card in the computer lab. You will not change. You cannot change. Once you leave here, you cannot change your selections. Okay. It is really important that you understand what you're signing, okay? So, cool thing is, our party starts at 6. It's at 6 tonight. You get your invitation at 4:30. You get your invitations at 4:30. They start at 6. You must attend all parties. The max you can have tonight is 2. You must attend all parties in order to stay in the process, okay? Once you're done with, immediately after you're done with your, if you have 2 parties, immediately after you're done with your last party, you come here to sign your cards, okay? Okay, so it's different. It's going to look different. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like on the computer screen because you haven't done it yet on the computer. You've only done it on your phones. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. But tonight, if you maximize your options this evening, you are guaranteed a chapter tomorrow. Woohoo! Yay! I cannot guarantee that until this round. I'm so glad we're here. We've gotten it. We've taken care of everyone that has not received invitations. So we took care of that this morning. So if you go to your chapters, you put both of your chapters down. If you have 2, you will be guaranteed one of those chapters in the morning. Okay? In the morning at 2, on bid day 2. Okay? That's maximizing your options. There is 2 ways you can maximize your options. So if you have 2 chapters tonight, you put 2 of these down in this binding agreement, which is you're bound for a year, then you will be guaranteed one of those chapters. If you have 1 chapter that you've been invited back to tonight, you put that chapter down on this card, you are guaranteed that chapter tomorrow. Woo! And I love that for those young ladies, because you already know. You're the lucky ones. You already know. Okay, so 2 ways you can maximize. Okay? Now listen very closely. You can also choose not to maximize tonight. Okay? So, what does that look like? It's only for the women that have 2 parties and only choose to put 1 down. Okay? I'm sure you've heard of this word. It's called intentional single preferencing. If you have 2 and you put 1 down in your binding agreement, you are not maximizing your options. You're intentional single preferencing, and you are not guaranteed a chapter tomorrow. I won't know. Okay, until tomorrow midday. So you're not guaranteed a chapter. Okay? Okay? So you have that option tonight. You haven't had that option this whole week. Because in order to stay in the process until this evening, you've had to maximize your options. Tonight, you can choose not to maximize your options, but if you do that, then you might not be guaranteed a chapter for an entire year, an entire calendar year. Okay? I want you guys to listen to me. Some of you are not paying attention, but here. People will come back and say, well, I didn't know. You know that you're sitting right here. Okay? If you get a bid tomorrow, you're bounded to that chapter for an entire year. Okay? You can't go through informal recruitment. You can't go through spring recruitment. Okay? If you wanted to go back through recruitment, you'd have to wait until the next fall formal recruitment. So it's really important that you understand that. Maximize your options, you're guaranteed, which is awesome. But if you're not happy tomorrow, you don't have to stay in the organization, but you cannot join another NPC, National Panhellenic Conference, these 11 chapters. You cannot join another one until fall formal recruitment 2017. Okay? Do we understand that? You have to be okay with the decision that you make, okay? You're going to ask your recruitment guides, you're going to ask me, what should I do? Well, we represent all 11 chapters here. We are a part of an incredible Greek system. So we are very proud of the organizations that we have. We know how strong they are, and we know how everyone can shine in our organizations. But this is not our decision. We've already had our recruitment, and this is not our recruitment process. This is your recruitment process, and you have to make the decision that you feel most comfortable with. Of course, I would love for you to be a part of our chapters, and I would love for you to maximize your options. But it's not my recruitment, it's your recruitment, and you have to feel comfortable with that, okay? If you maximize your options, you're guaranteed you will have a bid tomorrow on bid day. If you don't, if you are an ISP, if you match, then you will have a bid. But if you don't, you will not, and you're not guaranteed. But you will be able to participate in our informal recruitment, which starts at 2 p.m. on bid day. Okay? If you didn't match us, if you don't have a bid tomorrow, and you don't have a bid, your recruitment guy doesn't pass out a bid, then you are open for informal recruitment that starts at 2 p.m. on bid day. What's spring recruitment, and what's informal recruitment, and what's COB recruitment? It's all the same thing. I don't know why we have 3 different names for it. Informal recruitment starts at 2 p.m. on bid day. You can also hear it called COB, and then there's also spring recruitment, which is also informal recruitment, which is also COB, starts in the spring. Okay? I don't know which chapters will be participating in that. Your recruitment guides won't know which chapters are participating in that until we do all numbers. We won't know that until tomorrow on bid day, so we'll have to get back to you on that. So there's no guarantee that chapters will be participating in that informal recruitment, so don't make your decision based on that. Now, we hear a lot of numbers. Well, what if I do this? What if I do this? You have to worry about yourself, okay? You have to worry about this, about going to your chapters tonight, making those connections, meeting women, hearing even more deeper stories about their sorority, why it's meaningful to them. You don't need to worry about what they're doing with their list. If you're there, you're going to be on their list somewhere, okay? You should not be asking them questions about that. They need to make those decisions, and you need to make the decision you're going to make. You don't need to tell them what your decision is. That's none of their business. It's none of our business how they make their list, okay? We don't need to worry about that. You just need to worry about yourself and what feels most comfortable to you when you're making those preferences. Pro-con pro, we have a lot of pro-con pros in here that when you come in here, you have time to pro-con pro, that's completely fine. But you need to be comfortable with that, and you don't need to worry about everything else. Will they know if I ISP? No, they won't unless you tell them. We are not sharing that information. We don't share information about PNNs with the chapters, and chapters vice versa. They don't tell us the decisions that they make, why they make those decisions, okay? So no, they won't unless you tell them. Don't tell them. This is your recruitment. This is private, personal. They don't need to know what you're going to do when you step in this room. And if they ask you, they shouldn't be, and they know they shouldn't be, because they can get in deep trouble for doing that. Okay, so don't worry about lists and this, and I've heard my roommate, because her mom was in a sorority, or sister, yes, party 2, you need to come immediately here. After your last party, you need to come immediately here to do your selections. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Amy's going to help me because it's going to look a little different. So you will have your blue card. You'll log into the system like this. It'll say Panhellenic too, and then you'll submit. Okay, this is your name on the home page. Make sure it's your name on the home page. Then click Recruitment, and then you're going to do Final Day Selection. Under Selection. Okay. So it's very important that if you have, so beta and alpha are your choices. And I have staff in there that knows what it means, like if you only did one. So if you're going to ISP, you're only going to put one chapter on this card. You're not going to put both on this card. And so they'll know what that means to make sure that the computer matches what this card says. But if you're doing, if you're maximizing your options, you're going to move both of them over. It does matter what order. Tonight, it matters what order. Okay? So, if you move, let's see. Okay, you move them over to your right, and it matters what order. So if you wanted beta first, and then alpha second, make sure it says 1 and 2. Okay? Got that? Matters the order. Okay, if you did not, if you're going to ISP, then you're only going to move the chapter over that you are ISP. So you only wanted beta, you don't want an invitation from alpha tomorrow, so you will only move beta over, and you'll leave alpha in the available. Does that make sense? Okay, that's ISP. Okay, if you have one chapter and you're going to maximize your options and choose that chapter, you just move it over. And lucky you know where you're going to be tomorrow. Okay, got it? From that, you will, this is an agreement, you're going to accept, you're going to read it, and I'm about to read it with you. I know you're like, this is long, but I want you to know what you're reading and accepting. Accept and save. Okay, so this agreement it's here, and it's also on the computer. It says, I'm willing to accept an invitation to membership from any women's sorority, fraternity, they're all called fraternities, don't let that alarm you, that I list on this agreement. I may limit my choices to just one, or list any of the women's sororities and fraternities with preference around last event I attended and from which I'm willing to accept membership. I realize that by not listing the maximum number of events I attended, I may be limiting my potential to join any other NPC group during formal recruitment should I not be faced with my choices. So that's the ISP. If you don't match, you won't have a bid, okay? That's exactly what that's saying. But you are allowed to ISP. Once I submit this agreement to OU Panhellenic Association, I cannot change the order of preferences or add or delete a preference. If I do not receive an invitation to membership from a group that I have listed, I am eligible for continuous open bidding. Okay? So if you did not receive a bid tomorrow because you ISP and you didn't get a bid from that chapter, then you are open for continuous open bidding starting at 2 p.m. I have an option of not submitting an agreement at this time. So you don't have to submit it. So you go to your chapters and you're just not feeling comfortable at all, still come here. You come up to me, and then I will take care of that. You do not have to submit this agreement. Once I submit this agreement, I am bound by National Panhellenic Conference 1 calendar year rule. The rule states if I receive an invitation to membership from a group that I have listed and then do not accept it, I am not eligible to be pledged until the beginning of the next primary membership recruitment period, which for us is fall 2017. Okay? If you have a bid tomorrow, then you are bound for a year. You sign, and then we have a grade release, because if you're in our sororities, we have to collect your grades, and then you have student conduct release. So if you get in trouble with student conduct, your chapter leadership